Hello and welcome back to Unit 1 Video 4 of Podcasting to Promote Your Business, Hobby, or Website. I'm Travis Allison. If you have any discussion or questions about this, I encourage you to use the hashtag for this course or leave those comments or discussion questions in the discussion area for the course. You'll see today that I am screencasting from my iPad, and I've set that up to make it as easy as possible for you to actually see how you do some of these things. I want to say that I listened back to the video from the previous show and heard some pretty bad sound. So I've moved the mic around. It should be a little better. Generally, if you are recording, get into real recording in week 2. Generally, if you're doing real recording, you want to have your mic pointed at your mouth, but your mouth not pointed at your mic. The other thing that I noticed on it, because my windscreen is broken for my mic, I noticed that there were some noises from the plosives, they're called. It's when you use hard consonants that push air out of the front of your mouth. So the most noticeable one is a P. So you can hear a P will spike the sound. So I've rearranged the mic. It should be a little bit better. As you do podcasting for a long time, you come to listen to your shows over and over again and hear your own mistakes and get better as you go, certainly get more comfortable. One of the things that changes is your desire to make your sound better and better. So there are lots of ways to do that, but one of the things you want to do is have a windscreen between you and your mic. It should also cut down on some of the noise of your breathing. Don't want to point it out, but now I'm pointing it out that you may hear me breathe throughout this, and sometimes that is a bit distracting for people, but that windscreen might help a little bit with that. The other thing is that a good mic will pick up small sounds. So this Blue Yeti that I'm using is a mic I'll show you in another unit. Is a great mic, but it's fairly directional, so it picks up just really in one direction. But still, it might pick up things like the air through a vent or the sound of a hard drive fan. And sometimes, or when you get to the point that you go pro as a podcaster, then you may set up your own little recording room that has just a mic in it, run a long cord, that has no vents coming in. It's all, I've seen people that have put eggshell foam on the walls to make the sound totally dead in the room, just to make things better. This is not the kind of stuff that we're doing in this course. This is really how to do this fast and dirty in your own office and get you going, because I don't want to get caught up in all of the things you could be doing. So that's where we are with sound and the recording at this point in the course. What I'm going to do now is show you how to put episodes onto your device for you to listen to. So when you download a podcast to your device, it's called subscribing to a show. So I'm going to walk you through this on the iPad. The first thing I want to do is, some of you who have Android or iPod devices may have never added an app to your smartphone before. So I'm going to show you that first. And I'll take you through that so that you can see what it's like to first add a new app. So what I've done, I'm going to show this just on iOS because I don't have the same ability to share my screen and to record my screen on my Android phone. So it's pretty similar in the Google Play Store, but you can certainly find videos on YouTube on how to add an app in the Google Play Store. So for today, we're just going to do it in iOS. So what you do, what you see is what I have on screen here, and there's stuff across the bottom, featured top charts. You can load apps from near me, my own apps that I've purchased, and updates if I have them for apps on my phone. I certainly recommend that most people do updates as soon as they are available. You would see that in the App Store there'd be a red icon with a number of updates available. Newer versions of iOS will generally run the updates for you, so that's why they set that up. So in the iPad store here, you can see in the top right there's a search bar, and I have looked for Stitcher. So Stitcher is one of those apps that I recommended that you buy. It's a free one, both Android and iOS. I click on, now I've already downloaded it, so it says open, but you can see across the Cross Stitcher magazine, it says the price, free for that. The hourly news is 99 cents. So you just click on that. It will ask me for my password. I hope it's going to ask me for my password. And I'll put that in, and I'll and then it will begin downloading it to my phone. When that's all over, what you're left with is this app downloaded and waiting on your device. Looks a tiny bit different because I'm on an iPad, but really you can picture what it'd be like on an iPhone. So I want to show you how to add shows to your app. First one is going to be Flipboard. So I have I've signed in to Flipboard and created an account, and then it's given me, based on my Facebook account, it's given me some of the some articles that I may be interested based on what's on my Facebook. You can see the Twitter box says add your timeline, so that would pull in things, articles, videos, etc. from people have posted that I subscribe to or that I follow on Twitter. In this case, what I'm going to do in the top right is search for things like, and so I'm going to put in stuff. So I'm looking, in this case, I'm going to show you how to download, how to find a show by a man named Pat Flynn, who's an awesome guy. I totally recommend his stuff, and have posted some of his videos in the readings. So look for Pat Flynn. His show is called Smart Passive Income. Smart Passive Income. And then it's going to start searching for these kinds of things: stories, images, and videos. It will also do podcasts. You can see that it's going to come in the area here to the right below where I've searched. And you may have been able to see that when I first opened up that I had a bunch of Pat's links there. It was YouTube video, etc. So there's Flipboard magazines that are created. None of these say Smart Passive Income, but there under RSS, Smart Passive Income blog. And Facebook, I could subscribe there. Google Groups, Post, Users, YouTube, Pat Flynn, exactly, and SoundCloud, etc. So you could subscribe to any of Pat's shows, audio or video, on Flipboard. What else have we got here? Going to look at the other. Sorry, we'll go right to the home page. Stitcher is the other app that's free. I love it. And you can see now I've signed into Stitcher, so it's giving me my front page based on something, some algorithm that thinks that I might like this. I imagine that they're actually just sort of popular shows. But you can see there's a favorite playlist. So this is going to be the first look at, find shows to add. Here are two of the shows from our Camp Hacker network. Our network is focused on for people who work full-time year-round as summer camp professionals, camp directors, camp leaders, etc. So we have a number of shows. Here are two of our shows because of summer camp and Camp Code. There's also the Welcome to Stitcher show that's added there. So if I want to find shows to add, it'll give me all of these suggestions, new and noteworthy, etc. But I can also add something by searching for it as well. Browse shows. There we go. So in browse shows, they're in all these different topics, trending, education. You can add a podcast there. So I'm not going to look for Pat's show just so we don't take up a lot of time, but you can see all of these things you can subscribe to, learn a language, etc. Finding Pat's show is pretty easy. I just go to the search on the left-hand side. I put in Smart Passive Income. And search, and then it's going to come up Smart Passive Income Podcast. Also ask Pat. Pat's a really down-to-earth guy. I love this podcast, and totally worth looking at, in my opinion. So that's how you do that on Stitcher. I would click on the plus sign there. It's now loading the show, which means I've subscribed to it, and it's probably going to start to play it, which you may be able to hear through. There you go. So it's already playing Pat's show. So that's how you would find a show on Stitcher if you know the title, but you can also browse generically based on those things. So these are the two that I said I would recommend. Pocketcast is the app that I use on my Android phone. So you can see it's syncing with all of the shows I subscribe to on my Android phone. This will show you that I subscribe to 48 podcasts. I'm a little obsessed with podcasting. Part of the reason why I'm good to teach you this. course, because I think about podcasting a lot and listen to a lot of podcasts, if I want to add a new show, I'm probably, you can see it somewhere in here, Smart Passive Income on the left at the middle there, right beside the button. You can see that I'm subscribed already, but I'm going to pick another show just to see. Here are the suggestions. So I don't know if you saw what I did there. I clicked on the plus sign on the top right, and then it brought up search. It gives me all these different suggestions, and I can search by anything. So for you Americans who are listening, there are lots of NPR shows that are available. But also most networks now have some form or other of NPR show. Not NPR, a form of their own podcast. That includes CNBC, Fox, all of those things are available. So I just put in NPR and picked any of these shows. I'm just going to click Planet Money, so you can see how I subscribe to it on screen. Click the subscribe button, and it will start downloading it. You will go back to, so I clicked back from future podcasts from the search results, the NPR. Click back, got back to featured podcasts, and then done. And here are the list of my shows. So the one that I just subscribed to is probably actively downloading. You can see it in the top left. It was downloading. So now I have NPR Planet Money open with all of the episodes available. So in Downcast, you can set it up to subscribe automatically. When you get to a Wi-Fi, it'll start downloading. But this first time, you can click this, the down arrow with the size of the file, and it'll download it. You can see it's loading right there to my podcast. And now it's available to my podcast catcher, and now it's available. And there you go. So there's the show's playing. So that's how you do it in Pocketcast. Pretty simple. What I hope is that once people start to develop their own shows, they will post the links in the discussion, or if people have their own shows already, they post the links in the discussion, and then we can all listen to each other's. So I did Stitcher, I did Flipboard, and I did Pocketcast. Now I'm going to show you Overcast, which is the newest one. Here's the third show on our network, Camp Packer. The newest app for iOS is called Overcast, designed by some really smart people. You heard me say that I recommend, my pro tip was to listen quickly by playing speeding up an episode. So let's see if I can figure out how to do it. Here's our show playing. I'm going to pause it and see playback. Sleep timer. All right. What I wanted to see if I could figure out how to make this go smart speed. There you go. So smart speed shortens the silences. So if there's a little pause in a show, it'll cut it out. I can turn that on, and then I can also boost the speed up to 2x. And I will play this show. It should be it. There. So it's sped up. And I promise you, you'll get used to listening to things that fast. Within 30 to 60 seconds. I don't even notice it anymore. Anyway, you want to add a new show, click plus on the top right, search directory or add by URL. Again, they'll put in some recommendations. It's a lesson learned from Twitter. If you put in some recommendations, people will listen to it and get started and try it all out. Anyway, I'm grateful that you all listened. Thanks for checking this out and watching this video. This has been Unit 1, Video 4 of podcasting to promote your business, hobby, or website. Again, I'm Travis, and I sure appreciate you listening and watching. Thank you.